Hello, good day. This is the continuation of Lecture 4.1 of Math 21. So we'll be discussing the third part of this lecture, which is integration by substitution. I hope you still remember the basic theorems on antidifferentiation or on integration because we'll be using that. Okay, so we first look at the substitution rule. Suppose we have a function f of x, which is an antiderivative of small f of x. In other words, the derivative of f of x is small f of x. Okay, naalala niyo yung chain rule? So from the chain rule, if we have a function f of g of x, okay, ang derivative nito ay yung derivative ng outer function muna. So f prime evaluated at g of x times the derivative of the inner function, which is g prime of x. Okay? But, sabi natin dito, the derivative of capital F of x or f prime of x is small f of x. Kaya napalitan niya ng small f of g of x times g prime of x. Therefore, ito, yung capital F g of x is an antiderivative of this function f of g of x times g prime of x. Okay, or you can look at it this way, you can replace g of x by u. Okay, so f of u and then g prime of x is du. So you have f of u times du. Okay, in other words, the antiderivative of f of u du equals capital F of u plus c. Okay, we state this in a theorem. Yan. So, antiderivative of f g of x times g prime of x dx is equal to the antiderivative of f of u du. So, para hindi magulo, yung g of x, palitan nyo na lang ng u. Okay, and then du will be equal to g prime of x dx. Okay, ang condition lang natin dito, g of x is a differentiable function whose range is in the interval I and f is continuous on that interval I. Okay? Yan. So, reminder, we have to choose what will be the u, which will be our inner function. Okay? And then, the derivative should be a factor of the integrand. Dapat makita nyo siya dito sa integrand natin. And then, kung magsasubstitute tayo, the entire integral must be expressed in terms of u. Hindi pwedeng may naiwan na ibang variable or may naiwan na x. Okay? Sige, so let's illustrate by example. Yan. So, suppose you want to get the antiderivative of 1 minus 4x raised to 1/2 dx. Take note, raised to 1/2 to. Okay? Hindi pwedeng i-distribute yan sa 1 and 4x. Okay? This is the square root of the quantity 1 minus 4x. So, ang pwede lang natin gawin ay mag-integrate or kunin yung antiderivative by substitution. So, we let u be equal to 1 minus 4x. Usually, yung pinipili na u nasa loob ng complicated exponent or nasa loob ng isang function na complicated. So, let's see. If u is 1 minus 4x, kunin natin yung derivative niyan. Ang derivative nito ay negative 4 dx. Okay? Purihin lang natin ito. Okay? Du is negative 4 dx. Take note, dun sa integrand natin, meron na tayong dx. Ang problema, walang negative 4. So, we can divide both sides by negative 4. Okay? So, yung dx na yan can be replaced by du over negative 4. Okay? Sige, let's do that. So, this integrand or antiderivative is equal to antiderivative of yung 1 minus 4x, papalitan ng u, raised to 1/2. And then yung dx ay papalitan ng du over negative 4. Okay? Check natin. Walang naiwan na x. We were able to express all the terms in the integrand in terms of u. Okay, so now let's try to use the theorems that we have previously discussed. Okay, meron tayong constant na negative 1 over 4. Pwede nyo yung ilabas. So, this is equal to negative 1 over 4, antiderivative of u to the 1/2 du. Kaya na. So you have negative 1 over 4. Yung rule lang sa exponent, just add 1. U to the 1 half. 1 half plus 1 is 3 halves. So you have u to the 3 halves over 3 halves plus c. Okay? Then substitute back. Ano yung u natin? 1 minus 4x. Okay, simplify muna to. So we have negative 1 over 6. U is 1 minus 4x raised to 3 halves plus c. So next, we want to find the antiderivative of x squared times x cubed minus 1 raised to 10 dx. Okay, take note, hindi natin pwede i-distribute yung 10 sa loob. Diba? Kung gusto nyo, expand nyo. That means you multiply x cubed minus 1 to itself 10 times. Pero parang mahirap yon. Okay, eto rin, yung x squared, hindi nyo rin pwedeng i-distribute pa sa loob. So, anong gagawin natin? Let's try to replace or let u be equal to the expression inside the exponent 10. So, that's x cubed minus 1. Okay, get the derivative. Tingnan natin kung nandyan din yung derivative sa integrand. Derivative of x cubed is 3x squared dx. And you'll see, meron tayong x squared dx dito. Okay, so may extra lang na 3, which you can easily remove by dividing both sides here by 3. So x squared dx is equal to du over 3. Okay, let's try to substitute. So antiderivative, yung x cubed minus 1, papalitan natin ng u. So we have u raised to 10. Yung x squared dx, papalitan natin ng du over 3. Yan. So again, walang naiwan na x. We have expressed everything in terms of u. Okay? Yan. So again, we just take out the constant. We have 1 over 3. Antiderivative of u to the 10th du. Ano lang to? 1/3 u raised to 10 plus 1 is 11. All over 11. Sorry. Okay, plus c. Okay? So, let's simplify. You get 1 over 33. U, palitan na natin yung u ng x cubed minus 1 raised to 11 plus c. Okay? Next, we want to find the antiderivative of 2x squared sine of x cubed dx. Okay, hindi pwedeng i-distribute yung antiderivative over a product. Okay, so try natin na mag-substitute. Ano yung pwede nating piliin as u? Let's try x cubed. Nasa loob kasi siya ng sine. Okay, so if u equals x cubed, du or the derivative of x cubed is 3x squared dx. Ang meron tayo sa integrand ay x squared dx. Yung 2, pwede nyo namang ilabas dun sa antiderivative. Okay, ito lang. Para makakuha tayo ng x squared dx, we have to divide both sides by 3. Okay, so x squared dx is equal to du over 3. Sige nga, let's try to rewrite the given antiderivative. So, yung 2, ilabas na natin. 2, antiderivative of sine, yung x cubed, papalitan ng u. Yung x squared dx, papalitan natin ng du over 3. Okay, and again, you can take out 1/3. So, this is equal to 2/3 antiderivative of sine u du. Sige, antiderivative ng sine ay negative cosine u plus c. Then, substitute back. Ano yung u natin? Tapos, ito rin. This is negative 2/3 cosine of x cubed plus c. Okay? Next, we want to find the antiderivative of cosecant squared of square root of x over square root of x. Okay? Huwag kayong matataranta na may mga square root. Sige, try ulit natin. Pili tayo ng u. Sige, so since square root of x is inside cosecant, tingnan natin, if u is square root of x, what will be du? Remember, square root of x is x raised to 1/2. Okay? So, ang derivative, nagdi-differentiate tayo ha, huwag malilito. Ang derivative ng x raised to 1/2 ay 1/2 x to the negative 1/2. Or, lagay na natin yung square root of x sa denominator times dx. Compare natin, ano yung nasa integrand natin? Meron tayong dx over square root of x. Okay? So, kung gusto natin ng dx over square root of x, we have to multiply both sides by 2 para ma-cancel to. Okay, so yung dx over square root of x ay equal sa 2 du. Let's rewrite this in terms of u. We have cosecant square u times 2 du. Again, yung constant, labas lang natin. So, 2 antiderivative of cosecant squared u du. Ano yung antiderivative nito? Memorize na ba? Negative cotangent u plus c. Tama? Ang derivative ng cotangent ay negative cosecant square u. And then substitute back, ang u ay square root of x. So, negative 2 cotangent square root of x plus c. Okay? Kaya na, medyo hirapan lang ng konti. We want to find the antiderivative of cosecant x raised to 4 times cotangent x dx. Sige, hindi talaga pwede yung first set of theorems na na-discuss natin. Kailangan ng substitution. Ano yung pipiliin nyo? Pag pinili nyo cotangent x, okay, if u is cotangent x, ano yung derivative ng cotangent? Negative cosecant square. Pero ang given sa inyo ay cosecant raised to 4. Hindi nyo pwedeng i-square yung derivative. Okay? Sige, so let's try kung ang u natin ay cosecant x. Ngayon muna natin. So if u is cosecant x, ang derivative nito ay negative cosecant x cotangent x dx. Tama? O, meron naman tayong cotangent x, meron din tayong cosecant x. I-rearrange lang natin yung terms para mas obvious yung u. Okay, kunin natin yung isang cosecant. So, we write this as cosecant cube x times cosecant x cotangent x dx. Okay, equal pa rin. This is still equal to cosecant x raised to 4 times cotangent x. Pinaghiwalay lang natin para itong part na to ay negative du. Equal sa negative du. Okay? Sige, so let's substitute. Ang cosecant x, sabi natin u yan. So, cosecant cube x ay u cube. And then this is negative du. Kasi ang du ay negative cosecant x cotangent x. Okay? So, ilabas nyo lang yung negative 1. Antiderivative of u cube du ay negative u raised to 4 over 4 plus c. Okay? Then just replace u by cosecant x. So, you have negative 1/4 cosecant to the 4th x. Sorry, to the 4th x plus c. Okay? So, let's go to the next example. Sige, ano yung u natin dito? Yung iba, pwedeng mag-substitute twice. Pero sige, para maging mas efficient, pili tayo ng isang function na mapapalitan na agad natin yung integrand or ma-express na natin yung integrand in terms of u. Sige, it takes practice para ma-recognize kung ano yung magandang u na piliin. So, in this case, suppose I choose u to be secant of x squared. Yan. So, ang derivative nito, sige, mag-chain rule tayo ha. Ang derivative ng outer function, which is secant, is secant tangent. So, secant x square tangent x square. Then, multiply it with the derivative of x square, which is 2x dx. Okay, but if you compare dun sa given, x dx lang yan. So, we can divide both sides by 2. Okay, so we can actually rewrite this. Sige, so para mas clear, pwedeng paghiwalayin natin yung, or kumuha tayo ng isang secant dito. So, we can write this as, antiderivative of secant square x square. Andito yung isang secant. Secant of x square, tangent of x square. Okay? So, andito na yung secant cube, tangent, ito na lang, x dx. X dx. Okay? Yan, sige. So, etong part na to, hindi nang di magkasya. Yan. So, yung part na yan, compare it with this part. Diba? Ito na-cancel na. Okay? Yan. Sige. So, eto ngayon. So, secant square is u square. And then, this part is du over 2. Antiderivative. Okay? So, take out 1/2. 1/2 antiderivative of u square du is equal to 1/2 antiderivative of u squared. 2 plus 1 is 3. U cubed over 3 plus c. Or this is equal to 1/6. Ang u ay secant. So, secant cube of x squared plus c. Okay, if you have time, sige, check nyo. Ang derivative ba nito ay ito? Okay, so here we want to find the antiderivative of t times the square root of t minus 1. Tignan nyo to ha. If I let u be equal to t minus 1, du is equal to dt. Simple lang. Diba? So, yung square root of t minus 1, ano yan? U raised to 1/2. Yung dt is du. Ang problema, may naiwan pa na t. We should be able to express this t in terms of u. So, anong gagawin natin? From this substitution, you can isolate t. T is equal to u plus 1. So that, mapalitan natin yung buong integrand or ma-express natin lahat in terms of u. Okay? So, we can replace t by u plus 1. So, u plus 1. Tapos, yung square root of t minus 1, that's u raised to 1/2. And then, dt is equal to du. Okay? Again, hindi nyo pwedeng kunin yung integral ng or antiderivative ng bawat factor. So, dito pa lang, distribute muna natin yan. Okay, so u times u raised to 1/2 is u raised to 3/2 plus u to the 1/2 times 1 is u to the 1/2 du. Okay? Yan. Next, we get the antiderivative of each term. Antiderivative of u raised to 3/2 is u raised to 3/2 plus 1 is 5/2. So, u raised to 5/2 over 5/2 plus 1/2 plus 1 is 3/2. So, u raised to 3/2 over 3/2 plus c. Okay, then substitute back. Ano yung u? So, you have 2 over 5 times t minus 1 raised to 5/2 plus 2 over 3 raised to t minus 1 raised to 3/2 plus c. Okay? Next, we want to get the antiderivative of t cubed over t squared plus 3 raised to 4 dt. Sige, so, piliin natin ang u na t squared plus 3. Okay, so sana lumabas yung t cube sa du. Tingnan natin. du is 2t dt. Okay? So, kulang pa. Meron tayong t cubed dt. Pero eto, di ba, pwede nating isulat na t square times t all over t square plus 3 raised to 4 dt. Okay? So, yung t dt, eto na to. Pero, divide lang natin by 2. Okay? So, t dt is equal to du over 2. Yung t square plus 3, alam natin, u yan. So, ang kulang na lang yung t square. Again, from this substitution, ano yung makukuha natin? T square is equal to u minus 3. Okay? Sige, so pwede nang i-rewrite. Yung t square ay u minus 3. Tapos, yung t square plus 3 raised to negative 4. Lagay na natin dito, u raised to negative 4. Tama? 1 over t squared plus 3 raised to 4. It's t squared plus 3 raised to negative 4. Or using this substitution, you have u raised to negative 4. And last, yung t dt ay equal sa du over 2. Okay? So, we were able to write or express the integrand in terms of u. Wala nang naiwang ibang variable. Walang naiwan na t. Sige, so let's solve this. Yung 1/2, pwede niyong ilabas. And then, we distribute u to the negative 4. You get u to the negative 3 minus 3u to the negative 4 du. Okay, so we have 1/2 times the quantity. Antiderivative of u to the negative 3 is u to the negative 2 over negative 2 minus 3 u, negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3 over negative 3 plus c. Okay, magka-cancel naman to. Okay, and then we can distribute, kita ba? Distribute dito. We have negative 1 over 4. Okay, yung u, ibaba na rin natin. U is t square plus 3 square. Tapos ito, negative, negative. So, plus 1/2 na lang. Tapos, u to the negative 3 or t square plus 3 raised to 3 plus c. Okay, ayusin ko. Negative 1 all over 4 t square plus 3 square plus 1 all over 2 t square plus 3 cube plus c. Okay. Okay, so far, I hope the examples were enough so that you may be able to answer these exercises module. Okay, so sa page 207, part B, page 209, part C. Okay, try to answer this. If you have time, you can answer the other items also.